Well, y'all, welcome back to Red River Living. It's that time of year where deer season's in, and Jared and them are hunting. And this morning, Jared went out and he shot him a nice deer this morning, and we're going to get him hung before church here so we can make it to church this morning. So all we're going to do this morning is try to get him skin out and get him field dressed to where we can let him hang till right after church today. It's pretty cool this morning. It's not something we can let hang long, but it's cool enough where we can let him hang till right after church this morning. Then we'll finish processing, getting him into ice chest. He shot him back a little bit, so we're gonna have to kind of stay busy here, and hope ain't too graphic for some of you, but it's kind of what I was taught from my father-in-law and my wife's granddaddy on just getting them cleaned up and processed.
So what are we doing here?
We are just getting ready to hang him. What I like to do before there's any weight on them, I like to go ahead and get this cut right here around this, basically around the tendon itself. The leg's not that big a deal, but this tendon that we have right here is more my concern. As you can see now, I've got me a hole here for my hanger to hang into, and I've got the hide has been cut away from his tendon right there. Here in North Texas, it's the middle of November. Our rut kicked off. They're starting to chase does. Probably been chasing does about a week. But you kind of look at him, tell he's still got good fat on him. That's kind of a sign that they ain't running too hard yet. But I'm sure it ain't long before these deer are going to start looking run down and all. But Jared's seen several deer this morning when he was in the stand. So we've got the hide off of him. What I'm going to do now is let him back down. As you can tell, I really wasn't careful with the hide. We're not shoulder mounting any deer. If they were really, really big, we might. But the deer we've been shooting lately, all we've been doing is just European mounting them. So we just get the hide off of them. We're not really worried about caping them out, as somebody would say. If you were going to have a shoulder mount, you don't have to cape him. You have to be a lot more careful than how we skint this deer out. But we're just going to European mount him. We're going to make a video of that and show y'all how we do that later. So I'm about to let him back down. What we're going to do next is, I call it field dressing. You normally do that in the field, but right now we're fixing to get his innards out of him and get him cleaned up on the inside. We know he's been shot back a little bit, but that got a water hose here. We'll be able to rinse him out real good and let him hang for a little bit. This, get a shot inside right there. If you'll notice right there, you can see his esophagus. That's the one thing some people leave inside the meat sometimes, and if there's any food or anything in there, that can spoil and ruin your meat. So I always try to open that part up to where we can get to that later and make sure we get all that out. Well guys, as you can see, we've got him skin out right now. I'm not going to necessarily turn him around. I kind of show you a little bit here. We've got him opened up. He's completely field dressed now. His guts are out of him. We're kind of running late for church right now. We're going to pull him as high as we can get him. We're going to kill the dogs up. It's in the shade here. We're going to let him hang for a couple hours and come home. Then we'll quarter him up and show you all that process of us getting him in the ice chest and go to the next stage. And we may even work with his horns this afternoon and go ahead and get them European mounted. Still fatted up good. As you can see, he's still fatted up real good here. This is his inside fat, and as they start running, all this will dry up. They'll use this as their reserve energy right now. But as they start rutting more, this will be gone. They'll use this energy up. This is your inside tenderloin right here. This is, hey, some of the tenderest meat there is. And we kind of like treasure these little dudes. We like to cook them whole on the grill. But it's one of those inside loins. Just takes a little bit of extra work to get in here and get to them. And I like taking my time cutting them out. Gonna need a little cleanup done to it still. Here we're on the back side of the deer. I'm just kind of, hey, I'm not a butcher by trade or anything. It's just kind of, some of it is the things we've just always done. Here I'm just kind of getting to his, what's called the back straps. And I'm going to go ahead and peel this layer of fat off on him. It was cool enough this morning that we just left him hanging. Went to church, and it's after we got come home, ate lunch, and now we're just working, getting him in the ice chest. He can't stay like this. So the best thing we can do, because we're going to process him ourselves, is go ahead and get him cut off the bone, and we'll get him in an ice chest, and we'll probably keep in an ice chest for the rest of the week and then deal with processing sometime this week when we get time to do that. I was kind of always taught a rule of thumb, if you didn't know exactly what your temperature was, if that blowfly, that big old green looking fly was out, then you needed to do something with this meat. It couldn't stay out here and just hang in the open like this. So we're at the temperature where it's kind of cold out here in the shade, but we're not cold enough for meat just to hang. Not here in North Texas in November. As you can tell looking at him, he's got a good layer of fat still on him. So they're not running does just hard yet. All this, once they start really chasing does, they don't seem to eat. All they do is chase them does, and they'll burn all this fat energy up pretty quick on them. But he's got a good layer of fat on him. Still real healthy. So we're going to pull this shoulder off, then I'm going to cut this back strap out and run it down. You got to hold this cage right here. So here I'm just trying to get started. Hold on, guys. I'm just trying to get it started up here at the top side. And then I just start wheeling it out from this back side right here. And all I'm trying to do is just save as much meat as possible when we come. Most people like to take stuff and take it down to the processor, and I don't know, but we got back up. I got a knife. Back up. I just was taught when I was growing up, we killed it, we cleaned it, and we processed it. And over the years, I've just taken the time to buy some of the equipment to do it with, and you know, I don't do it for other people, I do it for myself, so I just do the best I can with it. And
Wait, put it right here. Because that's all the grinding. Put it right there, no.
what we're going to do here is I'm just going to cut the neck off for right now. But when we get ready to process this neck, we're basically going to just debone it and grind it for hamburger meat. My mom always said the neck meat was short meat and made real good soup meat and everything. But we just grind it and make hamburger meat out of it. That's all there. Yep. So I wait to get the hams off last, and we're deboning everything. But to get the neck, get the back straps, the tenders off of it, the shoulders off of it, gets a lot of weight off of it. Because when I cut right here, you'll notice that this tendon is going to pull. With all that weight, there's just more chance of the deer falling and everything. So I just come down all about 3 inches from where that tendon is there to right here, and I'm going to just cut into the bone, and then we'll just start trying to get him off, deboning and all. And it's not a science to this or nothing. I just try to find that bone that runs down through the ham part right there, and then I just whittle off both sides of it, and then we make steak and hamburger meat from there out of it. I was at home one time in Mississippi, and we'd gone down to my grandparents' house, and somebody said my Uncle Ralph had killed a deer. And of course I went out asking questions. I said, well, how big was he? And my Uncle Ralph just kind of looked at me and said, well, he's in the ice chest right there. And it was a little styrofoam type ice chest. And I'm like, how little was he then? He goes, he wasn't that little. He had deboned him. And that's where I learned, instead of just cutting the quarters up and throwing a quarter of meat in there, it saved on the room by deboning it off the bone and putting it in the ice chest. Hey, reach up like this. Yeah, go all the way up. Reach all the way up. Reach up. Don't pull, just keep it steady motion. Good job.
Perfect.
Close it.
Yep. Are you ready?
Hey, put your hand down.
Talk nice and loud because of the wind.
Ow. Ow.
Stop. Hey, pay attention.
Well, we've got him deboned. His shoulders aren't deboned, but the rest of him's deboned. We got him in the ice chest, got it iced down. We'll probably keep him iced down anywhere from 5 to 7 days this week. And every day we'll just come in, drain the melted water off of him, the ice when it melts. We'll just drain that water off of him. And then we'll finish the processing point at that point. Thank y'all for watching. We hope y'all like and subscribe. And see y'all next time.
Red River Living.
Look at their lips.